A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Professor Varsha Gokak, Department of Civil Engineering, Jain College of Engineering, on behalf of the management, Principal Dr. J. Shivkumar Sir, welcome you all for this webinar on My Story, a motivational session by a successful entrepreneur and startup founder, which has been organized in association with Institutions Innovation Council. Today, we have with us Mrs. Chetana Sarang, Madam. I would like to briefly introduce Madam. So, Mrs. Chetana Sarang, Ma'am, she is an Edupreneur, motivational speaker, and also a writer and a founder and CEO of Dattamsh EdTech. She has trained around 500 professionals and students across the world on artificial intelligence and machine learning. Coming to her qualification, she is a Bachelor of Engineering in Biomedical Engineering and MTech in VLSI Design and Embedded Systems, she's got the award from KLE Dr. MSS-CET, Belagavi. She's done her PGD in Industrial Relations and Personal Management. She's also an expertise in artificial intelligence and data science. She's been training corporates and students since the year 2019. She served as a top-rated teacher at White Hat Juniors. She is also ex-chief editor of the Indus Entrepreneurs Thai Hubli chapter newsletter, also ex-vice president education of KLS IMER Toastmasters Club Belgaum. Along with this, she is also served as an assistant professor at Sheikh College of Engineering and Technology, Departments of Electronics and Communications for 6 years. So with this brief introduction, I would like to invite our today's guest, Mrs. Chetana Sarang, Madam, to kindly take over the session.
Thank you, Professor Varsha. First of all, I feel privileged and deeply humbled by your invitation, and I'm so delighted to be addressing yet another group of professionals of Jain Engineering College. And another important thing I would like to add on is, ever since I have started my entrepreneurship, Jain Engineering College people have been my major clients. And it's my privilege and it's pleasure to address the gathering. And I'm sure this is a group of civil engineers or a mixed bag.
It's a mixed background, madam. We have students and we have faculty from all the departments.
All right. Yeah. My gratitude to all the faculty of Jain College of Engineering who have been here and who have been support to us directly or indirectly from years. So I would like to take over this session. I would like to share my screen, and I request all of you to be interactive and break in any places where you would like to share your opinion, suggestion, or ask something. Don't make it a very formal thing. So please interact and make the most out of it. Although I'm looking dominantly as a woman entrepreneur here, there is a lot of takeaways for men here as well, because entrepreneurship not much differentiates between woman and a man. So feel free to open up and discuss. I would like to share my screen. Please acknowledge the moment you see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Hope you're able to see my screen.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I would like to talk about the story of my journey as an accidental entrepreneur. I've seen the poster beautifully made. Thank you. It says a successful story of a startup founder. So I kept wondering on that word successful. How do I define it? So maybe in the couple of years, what I've experienced, success is just to keep yourself sane, mentally sane throughout the journey of being a new entrepreneur and navigating through difficult times such as COVID. Sustaining, surviving, and thriving have been the lines of success in last 3 years, according to me. There is a long way to go, but here I am to present whatever I could do in last 3 or 4 years. So, as Madam has read out briefly my profile, I used to work as an assistant professor. Let me come back a little bit, you know, to my childhood, how it all started. It's just in just one line. I grew up as an only child for my parents. I belong to an interior part of Karnataka, that is Hospet. I did my schooling and PU till there, and I'm a proud Belgamite since 2006. I joined KL Engineering College for my biomedical, and I did my master's and all of it. Like typical any other middle class family, I was also raised to earn an engineering degree and grab some job and get hold of some handsome earning and or handsome looking husband and get settled. This were the simple and straight expectations from my parents. But however, I ended up setting up an unconventional life, which they were not happy in every aspects. So I developed this passion for teaching at the very young age from my school teacher. However, teaching is not something which is celebrated. It's very much required, but nobody celebrates that. They somehow downplay the role of teachers, which is what I'm not in high approval of, because teachers are shaping the personalities every day, and a lot of tribute should go to teaching. However, having said this, based on my degree structure, it was very difficult for me to get any kind of job in Belgaum because most of the colleges I was straight rejected with the moment they saw BE biomedical. No offense, because there was selection criteria. I was fortunate enough to have gotten into Sheikh Engineering College. I worked really well for 6 years. I worked like it was my own college. Things seemed perfectly well. But unfortunately, the business started going down there, and all of us had to soon shift to a safe land. However, I was very clear that I was not going to get in any of the other colleges in Belgaum. So the choice was I started, maybe I should have done what my parents told me. Okay, I surrender, I admit. So what I did was I thought I will pick up this. In the year 2017, while I was still at my job, I took up this course of data science, artificial intelligence. There was a lot of news. It was something new that was coming up in 2017. There were hardly very few online institutions, academies, and I got enrolled into one of the academic analytic schools of Bangalore, which was both in hybrid mode during those days. Online was not just another thing, but it was very something unique where we had to actually decide whether we should go for it. So all the savings, whatever I had, those days the cost of these learning these technologies were sky high. So all that savings I poured into it, and then I thought I will bag some job into corporates and leave Belgaum. I said there is nothing meant for me in Belgaum, a place like Belgaum. There is no career growth. I kept blaming for a long time, and then yeah, I completed the course. I found it exciting and all of it, and I tried to apply for corporates, and many places rejected, saying you are a teacher, you are a theorist, you won't suit any industry and all that. However, there was one interview, a nice interviewing person. They said, you have good teaching skills, you have good theoretical skills. Why don't you start doing in the same line? Why do you want to give up your whole journey of 6 to 7 years and start something new? Do something which is connected. And he said, probably these are the things which you may have to learn or excel to get better at this new subject that you have taken. And when I went through that list, it almost seemed like entire computer science engineering. And I just shut it off, saying this is not going to happen. And probably I have chosen a wrong path again. I kept feeling that. Then I started hunting for different jobs because I was raised to only pick up a job. Not a single day in my family somebody ever mentioned you could be your own boss. Entrepreneurship was totally an alien thing. Till today, now my today my one of our centers is incubated in VTU INEC, VTU campus. When I announced this to my parents, that delightedly coming, I got incubation free of cost at VTU. The question they asked me is, what is the salary? I said, forget it. This is not going to work out. So that's the kind of family I grew up, where entrepreneurship, nobody is in approval of, was in approval of rather. So that was the state I came up. And then I tried going for event management companies. They asked my degree and they checked my marks and they said, you're overqualified. And I badly wanted to start back again, even if they paid me 10,000, 5,000, anything, but I would want to start my new life. And I went many places where in some places I was overqualified and in some places I was inappropriately qualified. I realized I was totally clueless and there was nothing meant for me in career. And there was no box meant for me at all to begin with. This is total utter cluelessness I had in those times. Was neither I neither had any great talent. Like my husband is a musician, at least he had music. What do I have? I was jack of many things, but master of none. How do I spend with the rest of my life? This was my major concern. I was constantly battling to get something, find somebody, do something. All my mind was job. In that attempt, my husband made me meet my earlier mentors, who is also an eminent corporate trainers in Bangalore. So I went to seek job under his firm, saying that I would train his clients. But he studied me for a day. We discussed a lot because he happened to be my husband's student in music. And then at the end of the day, he said, "Chetna, what you need is not a job. You deserve to be your own boss." I said, "You must be kidding me. If you have a job, give it to me. Otherwise, don't give me all these smart ways of rejections." This is what I felt, and I came back. However, after 1 or 2 months, nothing happened. And then when I still approached him, he said, "Announce a batch to train on this." I said, "No, I'm not doing this. This is not going to work out." And way back in 2017, nobody were aware how this would help, how AI or data science would help, and what will I post, and who would come. Moreover, I was not even confident of teaching computer science related subject. All my life I avoided coding, I hated mathematics, and there he was making me to do all of this, which was nearly impossible and a joke. I didn't take it seriously at all. However, as he pushed, I just posted a flyer. I knew nobody would come, but something happened. I got a call from Quest Global, and some 10 people wanted to learn. That's where I got totally nervous, and I had to buckle up and prepare, do it. Before that, I had to conduct a small survey in Belgium. I hosted a free workshop. I was really delighted with the experience that 6 years of my life, I only worked for an organization and we hosted workshops, we hosted so many programs only under the banner of college. And this day, I was hosting under my name. I'm going to give a workshop with no organization's banner. And I was not expecting anybody, but believe me, 45 of them from various backgrounds, all from Nippani, Chikodi, everywhere across Belgium, people bumped into my workshop. That's the day, that aha moment where I realized my own worth as an independent, irrespective of the organization I was working for. That was an eureka moment. I got confidence. And the workshop was successful. And the first student who enrolled to my course that day was a civil engineering student who was new to programming, and he picked it up really well. And today he is working for Andhra Pradesh government in the geology department as a data analyst. And I'm so proud of him till today. He's the first student from civil engineering department. That's the journey. In between, a lot of things happen. So I could train with with a decent hand holding of my mentor. I was able to sustain and do things. So I got a confidence, and now I was all set to quit my job and start as an entrepreneur. And we started out with partnership from my mentor. And in order to gain some flexibility to do things in my own way, I registered my firm under the name Jigyasa Infonautics, a proprietorship firm basically, and which is one man's company. One person company is nothing but a proprietorship firm, and only to give certificates through me, or some have flexibility, or not to violate or dilute his my mentor's brand. I had to do this. That's the story of an accidental entrepreneur. Only because there are people who start with the name, they get obsessed with that name, and they breathe with that name of the company. I was not something like this. This was just an option not to dilute my mentor's business and me to play safe and experiment. That's all. So that's how it got birth. However, uh, The batch went on well, although I was thinking that I was able to give my best. The customers on the other side were not as happy as I was in delivering. There were some flaws, and this day I realized that we cannot wait for the things to be perfect and then start, because perfection comes in the journey, not when you start. So this people say get out of the comfort zone, but I would like to tell you that to present the things perfectly always is also a comfort zone. We should get out of the comfort zone and try to prepare ourselves for some embarrassing situations, learn through them, and then evolve. That is also a kind of getting into uncomfortable zone from comfort zone, which I learned. And after that, I quit my job. I was all happy that I was so confident that things will grow really well. And I announced another batch after quitting my job. Nobody turned up. And bunch of computer science people from somewhere joined. They were men, they were not guys actually. They joined and they made fun of me because they knew all of it. They had just joined to tease me and make fun. And then they attended my sessions for 6 days and didn't pay any fees. And this was my major thing. The transition from going from job to a business is that we are skeptical to market. We are hesitant to market. How will I say people come join us? Because I joined an organization, our organization has its marketing team. I never marketed. And how do I ask fees? Because my salary were credited every month. I was so hesitant to ask fees. So people played around. Some mischief, some men joined, and I knew what was AI and machine learning. I was able to train enough decently. However, I didn't know what is not AI and what is not machine learning. That's where the trouble was when some computer science people joined. They tried to induce their learning into AI. I was unable to say what is not AI, and they made fun of me, and very embarrassing. I felt like I have done a big mistake again in my life. I wanted to go back, and what would I do now? I don't even have the only job I had. So meanwhile, things started slowly picking up. I One or two people kept pouring in, and things were pretty decent. And then what happened? All the series of natural disasters, like it was flood. Online thing was not so famous those days in 2000, early 2019, 18. So we had to shut down my class. I built my own classroom under, we have a commercial space. My in-laws own it, and I set up my building there. I started training in the city center. It was okay. I had some building and it was working. And the floods, we had to shut down. And 2 months more, they were supposed to, I was expecting, I was fairly doing well. By then the COVID hit. And what happened? All the big online giants occupied the entire market. I had nothing. And at the same time, during lockdown, I hadn't made enough money, but I was pressurized to pay the rent of my own building, even during lockdown. That's where I was disheartened totally. For various reasons, I was totally lost. I didn't have confidence to go online, because to go online, I felt there should be a need of platform, something. I had no money left to invest. There was nothing. There was nothing really I had. I had to roll back as some depressed housewife because maids were also gone in terms of COVID. And then something happened. My mentor thought again that she needs help, and he offered me to work for his clients remotely. And I started training and recruiting and assisting him in his processes for his clients. So Jigyasa Infonautics was laying dormant. It was not working functional for some time, and I started working for my mentor for his firm. And I started enjoying again. It was all great. So I thought, not a big deal. COVID could not take much from me. So everything is fine. Just a matter of 2 or 3 months, I'm back. So this is entrepreneurship, and it's just fine. So that's all happened, and we kept doing it. Everything seemed perfect until one night I got a message from my mentor. Guess what? Saying, we should stop working together because my wife's priority, well being, is my highest priority. This left no room for me to think. That's when I realized it's very difficult for a woman entrepreneur to set her journey alone. She is either expected to partner up with her own husband, or she is expected to partner up with other women. If she is getting bold and unconventional, it's very tough for her to sustain in all the odd ways. All my problems, all my hurdles are all the modern generation problems. It's not that I didn't have anything to survive. No, it's not that pathetic story. It's all the flux of the modern generation that I have experienced through. And there I was. I had surrendered my office because I could not pay the rent. And I had shut down my offline business because COVID, the government had not given any permissions. I was not a grocery store. And my hand holding of my mentor was also gone. Nothing. It was totally blank. I was so much devastated that I had nothing. And my relatives, my friends, and my parents, everybody were ashamed of me. And they started using my example as how a beautiful, bold, smart, well educated woman can strategically screw up her life. This is the message they were deriving from my life. I had to say sorry for a while because I was helpless in that situation for a while. And I had enrolled for memberships for some non-profit organizations because I missed working with people as when I turned entrepreneur, and I had no enough investment to make on building a team, hiring somebody. So I had joined some social clubs like Toastmaster International, which helps in building leadership and mainly a public speaking platform, only to enjoy that college ambience or some working environment, social places. And also TIE Hubli, the Indus Entrepreneurs, a hub of entrepreneurs where they are educated, funded, we get investors, we get mentored on all of it. I was just a new member trying to do my role. And there was a day after all this happened, after my partnership broke off and I had nothing. They were calling all the women entrepreneurs to introduce their business the next day. It was so sad that I had absolutely nothing in the back end as an entrepreneur. But I had to inspire some tens of women entrepreneurs. How would I do that? But I had to manage the show. There was no choice. There was no time for me even to say that I have shut down my business because previous night partnership was broken and next day I had to inspire entrepreneurs. So there, what I did, I gathered up all my dreams as an entrepreneur and talked all my dreams as my actual business. After the talk, everybody applauded. They hardly knew what I had and what I didn't. That night, I realized the entrepreneurial spark in me still exists. And the mistake I was making was to depend on somebody and not concentrating on my strength. Because I had tried partnering up with many people uh, during my journey before that, and some ways I failed. I used to gather people from Belgium for this, some 30, 40 candidates I used to gather, and then I would call someone else as a resource person to talk about this technology because I felt I'm not good enough and I would lose the market. So each time they came, they proved to be a lot lower than how I would have done, or way too higher than how what these Belgaum region or North Karnataka students would infer the messages. So everything was going flop. Everything was falling down, tumbling down. Nothing was there. It was chaotic situation. And then I developed this passion for writing because when a person is hurt, he or she finds some ways to express it. Writing came as a form of expression. I started writing some quotes and then started putting them on Facebook, something which came out of my experience. And writing was something which was giving me peace of mind for some time. And people from Thai Hubli, they recognized that my writing skills are good through my post. And they offered me to become one of the editors or of the editorial team of their magazine, international level magazine, that is newsletter, that is Thai Hubli, The Pulse. Then I had written just one article, and the chief editor of that was way too impressed by the life and the style that I had written. I'm not a professional writer. I wasn't. So, but I did it with so much passion and involvement, I didn't even realize that they recognized. And he got some other important work for the Thai committee. So he decided me to step up as the chief editor of that, which was another great serendipitous moment, I can say. My suddenly from Belgium level, my connects reached to international level because I had to interview businessmen. I have to interview so many people, write articles on them, meet them. Suddenly the network, my network increased like anything. And I was not able to believe my own luck. But all that was good. But still, this is a non-profit organization. I didn't have any ways to earn anything. So going online to post my own courses, I wasn't yet prepared mentally. Excuse me. So what I did was I was scrolling through Facebook, and then a post came up of White Hat Junior that they are going to introduce a course in artificial intelligence and they are looking for teachers. I applied there, just an application. As it is, nothing was working. What more would fall down? I was already down. There was nothing that I would lose. So I just clicked on it. And very next same day I got called for interview, and the interview process was for 15 days together. I mean, so many rounds of interview. I did it with having any of these. I didn't have any affection on that. I was neutral. I was not happy, I was not sad, I was just giving the interview. And for my surprise, I got to know that in the pool of 6,000 teachers, I stood the top, scoring 95% in my interview. That's where I thought I have reached some place in all this struggle. And one thing I was doing all in all this gap was every day I learned something in this new. I didn't give up. Every day I was learning something because I had nothing to do. I had tried everything. This was the only thing. So I tried to learn something new from that interviewer, whatever he had suggested, the big list of computer science. Every day I kept learning to see where it will take me. It took me there. I scored 95% and I was the most celebrated teachers. Not just that, in White Hat, I worked for White Hat. I don't work anymore. I worked for 1 year and exited. So when I joined White Hat to support my income, I was not skeptical about online trainings, but going at White Hat, it made me really happy. And there is some concept. We give 100 trial classes, out of which only one or two become our paid customers. So that's the case. So we have to keep taking classes, trial classes, and then one or two gets convert. And their course prices were 1 lakh, a minimum 1 lakh. And so very less people, and mostly abroad people used to register there. And that's how remember I used to take US. I remember that I used to take US slots in the night. So my trial period would be in the night, 9:30 to 12:30. So the last class, I had this one beautiful incident in my life. 12:30, there a student comes for the trial class. All sorts of people come, mischief people and decent people and hyperactive and all of this. And there was this girl who switched on the moment she entered, a student. She's from US. She had a bland expression, nothing on her face. No matter how well I was greeting her, she wasn't responding. No matter what I asked, she was just with blunt expressions. I said, never mind. It was night 12:30, the last trial class of that day. I was totally exhausted. And still, I picked up. The teacher in me, the genuine teacher in me said, give her the best. No matter how well the student is pursuing it, give them the best. So this is something pulled me up. I gave her my best. And for my surprise, one line she said in the end, thank you, Chetana. That's it. And then suddenly her mother, who was sitting off the screen, entered the screen and told, who are you? When did you join White Hat? I said, very recently. Okay, thank you. We'll see you. That's all. I was all tensed. What did it go wrong? That why did she ask about me? All night I was not, I was sleepless. I mean, this was some hope. I didn't want anything to have gone bad again. I had got a job to work with White Hat. And then I slept that night with a lot of worried about this. And next morning when I woke up, I was so much surprised with the message that Whitehead had sent me. I had backed the first customer for AI, that is earning 1 lakh, who has paid overnight. The parent was so happy with my teaching that they paid 1 lakh in one shot and they enrolled. If this is the teacher, then I'm going to enroll, they said. This was another high moment in my life. And the other thing was the girl is a victim of autism. She cannot respond or she cannot get expressions on her face. Another lesson to carry, what I no matter how the student, never judge the students. You never know what they're going through. Give your best. This is what I learned. And after that, I another surprising moment was not just bagging this customer. This mom and daughter, her mom was a senior software engineer who was trying to analyze the skills of every teacher that Whitehead was hiring. But she was so much satisfied with my attitude and also my knowledge that she enrolled overnight paying 1 lakh. And then Whitehead people were after me, asking me to train all other trainers so that they get more customers. There I got the confidence. I restarted my jigyasa. I announced online, and for my surprise, there were so many students. They were ready to learn from me all across the places, but it was me who was hesitant to start. And then I said, I had already proven in 1 month in Whitehead. I told them I won't be able to work full time. I would want only this customer or two exclusive students who had enrolled only on my name. I will continue with them. However, I'm restarting my Jigyasa. And Jigyasa went on. It made leaps and bounds. It was going well. And Toastmasters and Thai, all of this kept happening. They had a lot of choices in on my way, and I kept proving my abilities. However, when it comes to investment in business, many people think how to go about what to invest. This is the money I have. I invest in so much. I'll invest in marketing. I will invest in infrastructure. I'll invest in so many other things. But what I realized was I invested in an unique way. I didn't invest in the initial days of my entrepreneurial journey. I didn't invest anything much in marketing or infrastructure. All I invested was in building my networks and in building my mentors, because mentoring matters. Choosing the right mentors. There are no good or bad mentors, but right mentors meant for you. When you choose mentors, they help you avoid a lot of experiences which have proven unworthy to them, that where a lot of mistakes could be avoided. Shortcut to excel in entrepreneurship is to go for the right mentors. And when I say right mentors, don't go free of cost. Always good things come at a high price. I invested heavily in getting mentored by one of the eminent personalities, businessman, serial entrepreneur, coach, Dr. Prakash Mugli, who was a member of Thai and Toastmasters as well. He had seen me contributing in Toastmasters and Thai without any expectations and doing really well. So I sought help from him. Well, it was a paid mentorship, where a person is actually investing a lot to uplift. Free advices, there are many mentors, but when you pay one on one mentoring, that takes you a long way. However, I paid and started deriving a lot of valuable insights. First thing I did was I wanted to change my proprietor firm to an LLP or private limited, because when we start attracting investors, or when we are pitching our business somewhere to attract customers, investors, or somebody, they always say if it is one person company, they don't take any interest, because the person dies, the company dies. There is no life in that company, in one person company. And if it is a team, they also see, if it is a family business also, you're not getting a lot of investors, because it's all to save money, you're building a family business. Actual businesses are a culmination of actual skills and actual attitudes, people with actual attitudes. So I wanted to change my firm, but however, I was not ready to uh, grab in my friends, my relatives, my husband, or whatever. I wanted to keep it absolutely professional, so that none of my previous mistakes are repeated. This was my aim. And then um, yeah, and for my surprise, my own mentor offered me to be the co-founder, and today Dr. Prakash Mugli, he happens to be my co-founder, who is taking business management, and I'm focusing on that. So it was part of discussing various business models. The models could be just like some online class where we announce the course and people enroll, and the revenue model is just B2C, that is business to customers. We are selling to consumers directly. And there is another model called B2B, where we tie up with schools, colleges, or other businesses to derive relationships. So all this had to be clarified. Me having worked with White Hat had got me a lot of confidence in terms of my knowledge, in terms of my teaching ability. Not just that, before working for White Hat, I believed I could only train professionals. But after working for White Hat, I started even training kids of Belgaum. And I would definitely show you one or two people who have done amazing work, 11th standard people who started from the scratch and doing wonders. They have built Netflix recommendation engine, all from the scratch. Just 11 standards, Riddhi Ijare from Jain Engineering, Jain Heritage School again. So all this added so much of value, and now it started growing, and there's no looking back. And it has been growing leaps and bounds. There's a lot of challenges and thrill to go ahead. What I assumed when I started, I will announce the course, people will enroll, I'll get some money, I'll hire people. This is what I had assumed. My plan was so straight. But if you can see, when I explain, so much of adventure. So, dear friends, entrepreneurship is not for somebody who is looking for stability, who is looking for smooth life, who is looking for no nonsense in life. It is meant for people who are passionate in what they are doing, who can sustain uncertainties, who can sustain wear and tear, who can stand sane in terms of pressurized situations, and who can be managing everything well on their own. It's only meant for them. It's not it's not struggle, I call it's an adventurous journey where you have a lot of flexibility, freedom. At the same time, you don't expect stability. Ups and downs are a part of your life, and you have to live with them. So it's all up to you. You decide if entrepreneurship journey is going to add value to your personality, or you would just be good as working for somebody. Choice is yours. Yeah, and my gratitude definitely to Toastmaster International and Thai Hubli. They have been my family, professional family. Absolutely enjoying with them the network of all the intellectuals. Today, there's a saying, net worth, your net worth is your network. Today, every domain personality is just a phone call away from me, and it is so empowering. It's not my bank balance that makes me feel empowered. It's the network I have built today. Any aspect for that matter, from small to the biggest matter, I have connects, and my life has become so much at ease with all of the connects. So many people say, why do you join non-profit organizations? There's nothing, but I say there is. We derive all the values beyond monetary values when we join, and it doesn't come the moment we join. We have to start giving to those organizations. People in the vicinity realize your worth, and then you start deriving business. That's how it works. And this is my Thai fraternity. ThaiCon is the landmark event which happens every year. But however, Thai people also, they train all the entrepreneurs throughout their journey, and they handhold a lot of entrepreneurial programs, a very rigorous program, where that's how my Jigyasa Infonautics got converted into Dattamsh EdTech LLP with partners, advisors. This is the newsletter I was working on. So the journey from Jigyasa Infonautics, a one woman person company, to a partnership firm with building team, Dattamsh, meaning data in Sanskrit. And then we have a new product called the Dattamsh Lab, which we are franchising it. We are now operating in both online and offline model. We also have online trainings for people beyond the place, and offline trainings. We are setting up centers and labs everywhere across the country. We are finding franchisee partners. Especially, I'm concentrating on women like me who feel stuck up in some small places and blaming that they were not able to go to metro cities. They are educated and they want to do something. I'm deriving a lot of people, such people. I'm aggregating and trying to build such labs where we are training in a very unique way. It's not just a lame way of training. We have a very uniquely designed labs where they are trained through all my experience, and my expertise lies in training people who are zero in programming. And this is my team. And yeah, to I had missed this to say that I had also got many people said used to ask me, condemn me, saying, what is that you do? You only train, right? They downplayed my business all the time, but it's very difficult to do. Only you realize when you actually jump into it. So when they kept asking this question, I also thought I should take some project. And the moment I thought, I don't know, it was a magic. I got some offer from some MNC of Belgium. They wanted some AI project, and I was so headstrong, then I accepted it. But I realized that I was unable to give time or build that entire big project independently. I had to make a team. And again, I didn't have enough investment to hire or build a team. So I had to take handhold of Mr. Dr. Rajaram Kudli. He is into AI and machine learning from 1990s. So such a legend, I was happy to meet through somebody and got the project done. I could learn a lot. My trainings improved through that project. And now he has happily agreed to be my advisor. Looking at my efforts and everyday progress I made, he has consented to be one of our advisors. And we also have a bunch of advisors. And we have recently onboarded some two women instructors for online and offline. One of them is a Jain College Engineering alumni. I'm so proud of all of this. So today I stand before you with all my adventurous journey. This is the Dattamsh Lab, which we are creating all across uh, the city. We have two centers, one coming up in Prerana College in opposite of IMER, that is Adarsh Nagar, Gomtesh College. We are setting up the center. Inauguration is soon scheduled. And this is our center in VTU, where we have built a creative lab where they play games, they build their logic abilities, and then 2 hours they spend every day. It's a brains gym where coding is learned in a unique way entirely, and they build something. It's not just learn some example and leave and not knowing where to apply. End to end project they are building, and I'm so excited to see all this getting started. It has already started, but many functional units across the city, and any franchisee people are open to come. So, yeah. So, in an attempt to be an entrepreneurial journey, I realized today that I have grown personally so much. As a personality, I have evolved so much throughout this journey. And I conclude that there is no good or bad thing in life. It's just favorable or unfavorable situation. Sometimes it's favorable for us, sometimes it's favorable for someone else. The just lies in creating an unfavorable situation, in changing the unfavorable situation to a favorable one. You realize your potential. I'm very much inspired by one of this image where a potato can become has the ability to become expensive vodka. Can you imagine how the taste must have transformed? So I would like to say, when you are very raw, if you strategically plan your life and be dedicated and have a processed way of getting the highest potential from your own self, you can reach places within no time. And never downplay yourself. No matter the situations, life is always fair. Smudged by situations or mocked by ailments, gather your pieces, raise up, stand up for yourself, rise and shine, because there is only one life. I'd just like to play this video uh, of the Dattamsh Lab.
Imagine making a career in cricket and becoming part of any international, national, or IPL.
Learning anything new is exciting to start, but soon becomes monotonous and tiring. Why do you think that happens? Because the learning experience is not consistently engaging. Technical agility, interactive, self-paced learning to build creative stuff is all that we need. At the Dattamsh Lab, we make learning highly engaging and a holistic experience. Successful AI demands a data-driven mindset. Our pivotal aim is to impart AI and data science skills as one of the basic sciences because data is the epicenter of everything. At the Dattamsh Lab, 20 to 30% emphasis is given for the conceptual training and 70 to 80% for application and skill building. We have the concept of exploring and learning with an overall skeleton of syllabus and curriculum delivered in an interactive kinesthetic methodology.
Creativity has never been born in a regimental environment. At Dattamsh Lab, we have created a learning environment that is not just beautiful, but also unconventional, and in some sense, bold. One has to experience learning at Dattamsh Lab.
There are no average brains. There are only average ways of training and teaching. The Dattamsh Lab will prove to be not just engaging, but also an enriching learning experience. Join us to be a part of our learning ecosystem.
Thank you so much. I would also like to show a small video, just a 30-second video of one of my students, that is Jain school student, who has built a recommendation engine.
And another person has watched one movie that comes after it. So this particular movie is recommended to this person because these two persons are similar. These two people are similar. Whereas in content-based building, it's just a one-person game. It determines on your previous watched history. So this person who has watched a particular movie, and there's a new movie in the market, I suppose, and these two movies are similar. So this new movie is recommended to the user exactly in this recommendation system.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really proud of this girl, and it gives me such a deep satisfaction that the students of Belgavi I'm able to empower to the level of metro cities, and the satisfaction is priceless. All my adventures, all my struggle, which I call as adventures, are worth. Thank you so much for staying on with me and having me on board. Please reach out to me for any of your queries or any counseling or anything. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. It was indeed a very wonderful session. From the beginning to the last point, every bit of it I felt was very motivational, gave us lots of takeaways. Right from you sharing about you being the only child and how you started your journey from Jigyasa to Dattamsh Lab now, how at every step you came across so many difficulties, and there were points at time when you felt you would not be able to take up or go further, and how you overcame that. It is a great learning, and I'm sure my fellow mates, students, and my colleagues have got lots of takeaway from the entire session. How during COVID times, again, as all the professions were going down, you took up the challenges and you came back again with your own different skill set. How you told us about your eureka moments, and how you told us about the difference between the comfort zone and how we are why it is important. How we always talk about the comfort zone and we should get out of the comfort zone, but you explained it in a different way when we like doing the things in our comfort zone. So overall, I was very happy, and being a woman, basically for me the factor. I really felt very proud, and on behalf of Jain College of Engineering and our department, I would like to extend my wishes to you for your future, and thank you for accepting this invitation just over a phone call. I would like to tell everybody over here, it is just, I have not met madam anytime. I just gave her a phone call, and within 5 minutes she just checked her schedule and she said yes. So that takes a lot of, because she wanted to do something for the students. So that is what I can see how Madam is, and I'm very thankful to you, ma'am. May I now request Professor Kshitej Gurjar to kindly propose the vote of thanks. Thank you, Professor Kshitej, and thank you, Chetana Madam, once again. And we will look forward to have more sessions with you in the coming few days. Thank you, ma'am, once again.
Thank you so much to you as well, Professor Varsha. You were very swift in coordinating. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. With your permission, I would like to end the meeting. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, we can ask some question.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am. Chetana, ma'am. Ma'am, as you are that is in the teaching field, can you give some tips that the teaching field, that the professors are, struggling. So any idea that part-time they can do some that is this entrepreneur development or give some.
Right. One thing I would like to say is the entire world downplays teaching role, but however, there is a lot of demand for great teachers. It's just that we have to go ahead, and especially in trainings, in whatever you're doing, if you just expand your visibility beyond Belgaum, there are places that you can go. I sincerely request all the teachers so far not to give away their teaching profession. Just give a different shape, just elevate the methodologies, elevate your ways to reach and reach out people, and try to get maximum from teaching only. Because please do not give away anything else. Connect with some established courses like Coursera, Udemy, or some training platforms. Share your expertise, and I insist you develop deeper. Just the approach should be unconventional. Getting out of the college, you are teaching elsewhere part time, and you're doing it in a different way. That itself will be fulfilling, is what I feel.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Participants, any questions? Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really indeed a very enlightening session. And I will be looking forward that we will again have some more sessions with you for our students. And as this is semester end, we could not have much students because few students have their exams going on. So next time we will assure you that there will be a bigger crowd. Thank you so much,
Even
ma'am.
if one person is inspired, it's fulfilled. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. With your permission, I would like to end the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.